Was there a day or period in your life when you feel that the world is against you? Do you often get upset easily on little things that don't really deserve your attention? Or have you ever felt sad but don't know why? Was there a day or a week in your life when everything just keeps on falling apart and you feel burnt out or overwhelmed? Do you often experience that you want to be more productive or exercise more but you don't feel like doing it and all you want to do is to stay on bed all day? You're not alone. Many people, including me, feel this way often. Too often, we have unnecessary sufferings and worries that we are not even aware of. At times, they keep us awake at night, make us so worried, and they affect every aspect of our lives. In this video, I'm speaking about how and why it is so important to manage our emotions. I'm talking about 5 steps to manage emotions and 4 empowering habits that improve emotional fitness. But before we dive into it, let me first explain what I mean by emotional fitness or emotional intelligence or emotional capacity. These terms are usually interchangeable and have kind of the same meaning. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize and manage accordingly our own emotions, the capacity to deal with life's difficulties, pressure, judgment, experiences, and failures in every facet of our lives. Unlike our brain and heart, unfortunately, we are not born having this. It is meant to be aware of, learn, master, hone, and improve it over time. So why is it very important to manage our emotions? I am so passionate about this because I now understand that our emotions are massively influencing almost everything in our lives and driving our decisions on how we deal with events and people, how we give meaning to our experiences or any situation we find ourselves in. Our health, our relationships, creativity, productivity, our passion, job, or business, and how we perceive the world. I believe that this is so critical in this century, yet vital in mastering ourselves, and it is one of the biggest defining factors on our happiness that breeds meaning, fulfillment, success, growth, abundance, freedom, and peace within ourselves. I cannot emphasize enough how important this is, but if you're like me and you want to end most of your unnecessary sufferings and create and collect more great days than bad ones, then decide right now to change your perspective on this. That's the very first step, my friend. A simple shift of mindset. I said simple, but I'm pretty sure it is not easy to change someone's mind. But if you are ready to admit that you have to work more on managing your emotions, then be willing to be open on this because I believe that this is one of the greatest investments that we could ever give to ourselves and do in our lifetime. Anxiety is normally experienced by us, especially these times of chaos, adversities, fears, and uncertainty. To be honest, even before the pandemic started, I've been anxious myself almost every 2 to 3 days for the past several months. There's a lot of stuff that cause stress in ourselves, but I realize that most of life frustrations just have to be ignored. I don't mean that we should deny or ignore what and how we feel. What I'm saying is that not every emotion requires and deserves our attention and digging. We also have to hone the ability in determining or identifying what sort of pain or emotion that worth our time and energy to suffer from or to linger on. I know that we might never be perfect in mastering our emotions, but that is okay. Our goal is not to be perfect, but to work on it every single day. When you feel anything, stop thinking that you cannot help yourself, that you're helpless. Know that you can do something to influence, manage, or change it in an instant. Maybe you're thinking that it's easy for me to say these things because I don't know exactly what you're going through at the moment. You're right. I don't know anything about you. I don't know your whole story. I don't know what kind or level of pain you're dealing with right now. I don't know what problem you have. I don't know your whole truth. I don't know who you are. I am not in the position to judge about on whatever emotion you have. Every emotion or pain is valid. One thing I know is that each one of us is required to face an adversity every now and then for us to learn, know ourselves more, prove to ourselves that we are capable of getting through anything, grow as a human being, and makes us realize that as long as we are alive, there are infinite possibilities for our lives. Problems are a necessary part of life, part of our journey on earth. 8 years ago, I experienced one of the saddest moments of my life. My mom died before my eyes due to cancer. Back then, I didn't know how to cope with it well. Losing someone we love is inexplicably hard. You might have experienced the same, but your pain and my pain are not exactly the same. So I cannot judge any of how you feel about anything because how we feel and cope with hardships and experiences can be as unique as who we are. Take my advice with an open mind that my only intention is to empower and help you in some ways that I know and not to offend you or invalidate whatever pain or emotion you're dealing with at the moment. The following are 5 steps to manage our emotions. 1. Acknowledge. This is the foundational step. Acknowledge it. Recognizing that you feel something which is not aligned on what you really want, that something interrupted your peace. We cannot control what we are not aware of, so it is very vital to catch ourselves. Now, how do we acknowledge it? Whenever you feel something that interrupts your peace, pause for at least 5 seconds. Stop whatever you're doing or thinking. Get at least 5 deep breaths. Just pause and acknowledge how you feel in any given situation. Second, examine. Determine where it came from and be specific about it. Usually, this is from a thought or from an external stimuli like the news, a video, a text from a friend, an email, paranoia about your health, your nightmares, words or actions from your partner, your physical pain or grumpiness from your menses, things happened from your past, worries about your future, or any problem that's stressing you out at the moment. Determine, do you feel angry, lonely, annoyed, upset, disappointed, disgusted, scared, jealous, envious? Do you feel rejected or neglected? Or do you feel unworthy, unimportant, or taken for granted? Whatever it may be. When you find out the reason, you often then find out that it is not even worth your attention or giving it a meaning and that it's not worthy to feel it more. But when you know that it's big and that it's really worth facing and getting through it because it feels like a matter of life and death or it will cost you your fortune or relationships, then go ahead to the next phase, which I am going to elaborate. If not, drop it, forget about it, and let it go. And focus on what is more important that you have to do that certain time. Third step, feel it. If you still think that it's worthy to feel it, then let yourself feel it for a few minutes. Give yourself maximum of 5 minutes whether you feel the need to cry, to swear, to shout, to feel bad, or throw things. Seems simple, right? Yes, it is this simple, but it doesn't mean it's easy because we are so used to the pattern of letting our emotions get in the way or ruin our entire day. So you have to be willing to do this. If 5 minutes is not enough, then go to step 4. Delay and schedule. We schedule our dates, our holidays, our workouts, so why not schedule when to feel bad or worry as well? Decide to delay it at the end of the day. For example, for me, when I feel grumpy and anxious in the morning, doesn't happen all the time, but whenever I feel that way, most of the time I delay it to 6 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. I consider it like an appointment with myself. That way, I could still be productive throughout the day and still can do things that are important to me. This is a way to be proactive to our emotions instead of just allowing them to ruin the rest of our day, and that would allow us to do the important things first throughout the day that put our big dreams to reality and put us closer towards the person we want to be. Make sure to schedule it at least 2 hours before going to bed for the reason not to be anxious before sleeping. During your appointment with yourself, so you'll ask, what do I have to worry and feel bad about that's supposed to bother me this morning? Then again, oftentimes, you'll find out that most of the things you're worrying about are not even worth your attention, your time, and your energy to ponder on. But if it does, go ahead and give yourself the permission to feel bad, to worry. Think of the worst things that could happen for 30 minutes by thinking, feeling, then writing them down. And the fifth step is journaling. I highly recommend for you to start journaling if you haven't already. It doesn't need to be classy. You can get a journal that costs $5 to $10. Or if you have a notebook, just use it for now. And this is how you sequence your writing. Write all your worries, all your thoughts that bother you, the feelings that you have, the events and experiences that keep worrying you, the things that trigger that emotion, all the negative voices in your head. You can swear, you can moan, you can complain, you can blame, you can cry while writing. Write down everything that bothers you, whatever it is. Paper is way more patient than anyone you know in this planet. And the great news is, paper doesn't have the ability to complain and absorb your negative energy, so you can say the heck whatever you want to say and write whatever the heck you want to write. Feel free. How cool is that, right? Then if you're done, finish it by writing the lessons you learned. Some simplest action steps that you could do about your problem, then the good things happened that day and all the things that you're grateful for. Focus on the smallest things that you could think of, like having a blanket, a roof over your head, food on the table, the beautiful sky, the trees, a cup of coffee that you had, or just simply the fact that you're still breathing and have the ability to even feel and think and write. After journaling, take at least 5 deep breaths, then let them all go. Journaling is very powerful. It has the ability to take off the worrisome from our minds and the heaviness from our hearts. It has the power to lessen the emotional baggage, to have fresher eyes, fresher mind, fresher heart, to find clarity, acceptance, and peace within ourselves, to resolve our problem faster, creatively, and effectively. If this resonates with you, please like and subscribe. Thank you. We might not manage our emotions completely, but we can influence or change them through our actions. The following are some empowering habits that you can start practicing right now. They would help you manage your emotions better and set you up in a more beautiful, more fulfilling, and peaceful state. Try doing them and see what happens. Number 1, gratitude. Practicing gratitude upon waking up in the morning and before sleeping. I know that this is not the first time you hear this from me and from gazillions of people out there talking about this, but I am mentioning it again because I've been doing it myself for many years and it really makes a big difference. It has proven in a study that when we practice gratitude consistently, there's actually a 25% increase in our happiness. When we feel grateful, we cannot be worried or fearful or hateful at the same time. It is not just possible. I believe that this is one of the simplest hacks of feeling joyful, fulfilled, and abundant. So set aside 5 to 10 minutes every day upon waking up to think and feel the things that you're thankful for. Hey, they don't have to be big. Focus on the smallest things you could firstly think of, like breathing and being alive for another day, hearing the birds or chickens in the morning, having a comfortable and safe shelter, having a warm blanket, having the ability to see or walk, having the coffee that you're about to have, or having healthy sense of smell, taste, or hearing, or waking up with your loved one, or being with your family, or having the ability to love and having another day to like, love, and improve yourself even more. The more you do this, the more you attract things to be grateful for, and the happier you become, that would not only improve your own life but also the lives of the people around you. Your energy of gratefulness is contagious, and that would spill over to every other aspect of your life. I cannot emphasize enough how effective it is, so why not test it yourself and thank me later? Another habit on gratitude in which I learned from Dean Graziosi, and I have been doing it for a while now. Set alarms on your phone on 3 different times to remind yourself to be grateful. For me, like Dean, it's 10 a.m. It's when you're about to start doing something or already in the middle of something. Then 3 p.m., the time when you're busy or the time of having more the likelihood of getting stressed, overwhelmed, or emotional, or when you're in a challenging situation. And 7 p.m., the end of the day, when most of the time you're already at home or you already finished work. Also, put label on the alarm. On my 10 a.m., the label is exactly this: stay grateful, optimistic, enthusiastic, and loving. For my 3 p.m. alarm, it says, you can handle anything, be grateful. And my 7 p.m. alarm says, you are truly blessed, be grateful. It sounds ridiculous, but it is very effective. Most of the time, especially when we are worried or overwhelmed, we forget to remain grateful, so the more we get stressed. You have no idea how many times I needed exactly reminders at those times. Like last year when I was still in Australia, I was literally on my way to the emergency because of severe vomiting and throbbing stomach pains several minutes after eating too much sushi, and it was 3 p.m. so my alarm went off and said, you can handle anything, be grateful. It is sometimes hard to be grateful, especially when you are in the middle of inexplicable physical pain. So I took some deep breaths and forced myself to still be grateful of the fact that I was still breathing and I felt better. You may or won't need to set exact the same times or exact the same alarm labels. Customize it if you want. Whatever that suits you would work best for you. The second habit, which I find really fascinating and healthy, is walking and lingering in nature. Nature helps us, oftentimes forces us to be present, to focus on our here and now, or a way to find clarity on our thoughts, ideas, and feelings. It has been proven that walking in nature improves health and increases happiness as well. Many of successful and fulfilled people walk in nature often, like Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Ryan Holiday, Robin Sharma, and even some of the most impactful people in history like Albert Einstein, Aristotle, William Wordsworth, and Charles Dickens, and many more. If you're doing this already, I suggest to do it more often alone, and you would find yourself lingering and appreciating nature more. One of the greatest things I realized through walking and lingering in nature is that the world is way more abundant than I have ever thought, expected, imagined, and experienced. Hey, when is the last time you lingered on the sunset or sunrise? walking on your barefoot at a lake or by the beach, feeding ducks, swans, or birds, looking closely or smelling a flower or chasing a bee or a butterfly. How did you feel? Number 3, meditation. There are many successful and extraordinary people that meditate like Tony Robbins, Tim Ferriss, Marie Forleo, Ariana Huffington, Ray Dalio, Bob Stiller, Will Smith, Jennifer Lopez, Oprah Winfrey, Lily Singh, Jay Shetty, and many more. Meditation has countless benefits on our physical, psychological, emotional, and spiritual health, like strengthening immune system, slows down aging process. It literally increases the volume of the brain, improves concentration, productivity, sleep, self-awareness, generates creativity, helps you cultivate discipline. It trains you to observe your thoughts and feelings. It forces you to focus on the present moment, gives you clarity, improves memory and learning, sets you up to manage stress, anxiety, difficulties, and emotions more effectively. It improves sense of overall well-being and quality of life because it gives you sense of peace and freedom from yourself and the outside world. In my personal growth and development journey, meditation plays a big role. I've been doing it almost every day for 3 years now, and it really makes a big difference in every aspect of my life. Cultivating mindfulness is actually interconnected and intertwined with gratitude. I mean, it is way easier to be grounded if you force yourself to live at the present moment at the same time. A way to be present is when you practice gratitude. They work and complement each other. Number 4, move your body. Do any form of exercise that suits you. What works best for you in your certain situation or phase of your life at the moment. If you can do 5 to 10 minutes of jogging or walking, dancing, yoga, or even simple stretching, great, do it. I bet you already know that exercising or moving your body releases endorphins and dopamine in our body, and these chemicals make us feel good. Or just do something that would interrupt the pattern, anything that would loosen up, whether the feeling of anger, annoyance, madness, or complaining, like going for a cold shower, singing on top of your lungs, dancing, push-ups, cook, bake, whatever that suits you at the very moment that you could do immediately. If you cannot think of anything else, just smile or laugh in front of the mirror without no reason at all, or even without a mirror. Do a Wonder Woman pose. Leverage your body to signal to your mind that you're taking back your confidence and that you're in charge. Start with your body and feelings would follow. Our movement create or influence our emotions. So, let's leverage our physiology to manage and master our feelings. As Susan David passionately tackled on her TED Talk 3 years ago, I totally agree that our emotions drive almost everything. How we act, how we live, love, parent, learn, and how we grow. We thrive through our emotions. It creates our outer world. She also mentioned that there's no such bad or good emotions. We all experience and need this every now and then. They are part of being human. Only dead people don't have problems or get stressed or don't have emotions. Radical acceptance of all our emotions, including the difficult ones, is a path to emotional resilience, emotional courage, and emotional agility. And if we open ourselves to difficult emotions, we also open up the pathways for beautiful emotions and generate great responses. Embrace being vulnerable, deal with the world as it is. Another one is from Tiffany Watt Smith. She said that what we feel tells us what we value. Now here's the questions for you. It is time to contribute. 1. What emotion do you often feel at this period in your life? Second, what habit do you personally practice in managing your emotions or overcoming stress? Please answer these questions on the comment below for me and others to learn as well from you and connect with you, because together we grow. Our emotions are data. They are feedback. They are meant to be acknowledged, felt, and examined to remind us the things we care about, what we stand for, and to show us the pathways to freedom. Freedom from our own emotional baggage. And if we dedicate ourselves not to only accept and surrender on our feelings, but also to invest in choosing what emotions that are worthy for us to flourish and that would truly give us fulfillment, peace, and meaning. So start acknowledging, examining, choosing, and managing your emotions today, because it is an enormous piece of the puzzle in getting the life you desire and deserve. You got this. I might not know anything about you, but I believe in you because you are a human like me, and I believe in every human potential. If you are looking forward in liking, loving, growing, and mastering yourself even more, watch my last video in which I tackled 9 signs that you are being rude to yourself and empowering habits that you could also implement right away. Check it out after this video. Thank you. If this video helps you realize something or empowers you in some ways, please like, subscribe, and share it to anyone that you know who needs to hear it as well. Thank you so much for your time and energy. Please follow me in my Instagram, where I post often regarding lessons in relationships, travel, personal experiences, and life in general. Feel free to message me there as well. Let us stay connected, because together we grow. I wish you more joy and abundance. See you in my next video. Bella ciao!